What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys a review of the upcoming Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year in this Year of the Snake colorway. This pair continues Jordan Brand's honoring the Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year with a special edition Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So this has been something that I've been collecting personally. I skipped the original, I believe it was the Year of the Rat version, but since then I've been buying every single pair and keeping it for my collection. So later on this month, we're entering the Year of the Snake. So this year's version of the Jordan 1 Low is themed after that animal. And based off of what I've been reading online, the US retail price for this shoe, it should be around 160 USD, which is approximately 230 Canadian dollars converted. And the official colorway for this shoe is Summit White, Photon Dust, and Barely Green. So first off, here's a quick look at the packaging, and this comes in a custom box just for this release. And as you can see, it's done in this multicolor iridescent finish. So depending on the angle that you're looking at it in, it has a shimmery multicolor effect to it, which I thought was really nice. And inside the box, the paper actually has this very subtle snakeskin pattern to it, which I thought was a really unique touch. So as for the shoe itself, this is your Air Jordan 1 Low OG silhouette. And as you can see, the base layer of this sneaker, this is crafted out of a smooth, white colored leather. So just like any other Air Jordan 1, we have these perforations all across the toe box, and then surrounding the front toe cap, we have a slightly tumbled Photon Dust or light gray colored leather. This same gray leather covers the eyelets of the sneaker, and in typical Air Jordan 1 Low OG form, we have the 7 eyelets as opposed to the 8 that the original 1985 Jordan 1 Low had, and for some reason Jordan Brand likes to only give us the proper number of eyelets for certain releases like the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows. Anyways, moving on, underneath this on the mid panel we have more of that white colored leather, and then stitched on top of this we have your classic Nike swoosh. This is actually constructed out of a multicolored layer which is done primarily in black, blue, and purple. But then laid on top of this, we have this ripstop nylon overlay, which mimics the look of snakeskin. Underneath this, wrapping around the bottom of the heel, we have more of that gray colored leather. And then on the very top of the heel, we have this jeweled Air Jordan Wings logo, which is given an iridescent finish, said to be inspired by a snake's eye. Hanging off the shoe, they also come with a snakeskin pattern tag with the Jumpman logo. And then as far as the laces go, so this pair only comes with one lace option, or at least my pair only came with one, and they're a flat style lace done in this very pale, minty green sort of tone. One thing I noticed though, I don't know if it's just my pair, but I thought that the laces that they provided were a little bit short, so I really had to tighten up the shoe really tightly to get them laced all the way to the top. Underneath this, the tongue is also constructed out of ripstop nylon as well, and then on the top of the tongue we have this black tag with this woven Nike Air branding. The interior of the shoe, this is thinly padded just like any other Air Jordan 1 Low OG, and has a silky smooth finish to it to the touch. And then as far as the insoles go, these come with a polyurethane lined insole, and then pressed onto the heel we have Jordan 23 branding done in a stylized fashion. So the upper of these Jordan 1 Lows sits atop this solid rubber cupsole, which is painted in this off-white or sail color. Encapsulated within this midsole, we have Nike Air technology, but this is not visible to the eye. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your classic Air Jordan 1 outsole, and in this case, this is done in a semi-translucent, icy green sort of tone, but we still have the normal circular pivot point on the forefoot, along with Nike branding right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. For those wondering about sizing, to me these fit like pretty much any other Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So for me, I personally go true to size, but I know a lot of people out there that prefer to go a half size down for a more snug 1-to-1 fit. So in my case, I'm a true size 10. My feet are a little bit on the wider side. Maybe that's why I prefer to go true to size. But if you like more of a snug 1-to-1 fit and you have a narrow or a normal width foot, I feel like you can go a half size down. But if you have a really wide foot or you just don't like a snug fitting sneaker, then just go true to size. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so these feel like any other Air Jordan 1 Low, so it's gonna feel pretty flat, low to the ground, and there's not too much from a softness and step and comfort perspective. One of the pros of this being a low top is that you have a lot more ankle mobility, and it's just a lighter feeling sneaker. But if you're expecting something extremely comfortable or something super plush, this is not going to be the sneaker for you. It just feels like a typical retro 80s sneaker in that it's going to be fine for everyday casual use, but it's really not that comfortable. Lastly, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first of all, the material quality was pretty standard in what you'd see in normal Air Jordan 1 Low. So they utilize genuine leather on this shoe, and I like the softness particularly of this lighter gray leather. So I had no complaints about the material quality, and the build of the shoe is just what you typically find. There's some very minor issues with some long threads, but generally speaking, the panels were consistent between my left and right feet, and there was nothing major in terms of flaws in how these were put together. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. Overall, I think that this is a pretty safe design as far as Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year goes. And personally, I think it was a little bit of a letdown, especially when you compare it to the Year of the Dragon edition last year. I think last year's version was a lot more daring, a lot more creative, a lot more inventive, whereas this one, I know some people have been calling this like a poor man's Dior Jordan 1 Low, and I can kind of see the resemblance, but from a higher picture, I just thought that it was safe. It's not an ugly colorway, I actually think it's quite nice. I just think that they could have really pushed the boundaries a little bit more when it comes to theming and relating it to the snake. So if you're someone like me who collects these Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year editions, then I wouldn't hesitate to pick these up for retail. But if you're kind of on the fence about these and this is not a must-have, I'd cross my fingers and hopefully wait for these to go on sale, because I just don't find them to be that inspiring and that necessary to pay the full retail price. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about this Year of the Snake version of the Air Jordan 1 Low. For anyone watching, what do you think about this colorway? Do you think it's a little bit boring? Do you think it's a little bit uninspiring? Or do you like the versatility and the ease that you can probably pair this with different outfits? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8. Check me out on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Appreciate the continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.